What's up, guys? I'm going to wait a second before I get started for my chat to pop on. I don't know why it does this, but it takes a while for my chat to pop on. And then I didn't hook up my camera to the top of this because I have a new monitor behind this laptop that I want to hook it all up, and I wasn't able to do that. And I just found a couple extra minutes in my night to where I could come on here and chat with you guys. I promised you guys a few days ago that I would get on here in my free time, and here I am. So I'll just keep blabbing for a little bit till we get a few more people, first of all, on the chat, till we get a few more people on the live. I want to get at least probably 150 on the live before I start taking questions. And yeah. So another thing that I found out, my buddy Michael Holt told me today that when I go live, it actually takes views from my other videos that I do. And I don't want to do that. I want to make sure that the content gets out there to as many people as possible. And this actually gets in the way of like an actual video post. So I'm going to post this because I plan on posting another video possibly tomorrow, which will be more important to get that out to the masses. And then obviously Saturday, I'm trying to be posting at least one round per week of me playing in some capacity. So with all that being said, again, I apologize for the pixelated screen. I'm only doing this in 720 or something because of my camera, my little webcam here. It like takes this little screw, and I don't have that on my laptop, and I just didn't do it. So I had a couple minutes. That's what you guys get. Now, what I would like to do is I'm going to start off by a little something that I was thinking about earlier today, and I was talking to a friend of mine who's been helping me with my own form. And we got talking about grip and how grips could be an issue with somebody's throw. And this is something that's very important that isn't addressed enough. And that is, I'm going to grab a disc really quick. Bear with me. All right, I got the disc. And that is, people will grab the disc because they see that like I throw it like this, for example. Like I have like a power grip, obviously. So people will grab this disc, match where my fingers are, and then throw it. And they'll be like, ooh, I throw like you, Liberty. I have the power grip. Wrong. There is something very important I need to get through to you guys, especially with grip. And it's something that I've played with through my whole career. The pressure in which you're gripping is more important than the grip itself, okay? I have a lot of people who grip it like this, and I'm finding this more and more as I do lessons, is I try to get into the intricate details of how they're throwing. So I have to ask, okay, how does that feel? A lot, because the way it feels for me, my brain, pardon me, doesn't even process some of the things anymore, right? It's so, I've done it for so long, I do it so often that my brain's just like, yeah, that's how you do it. So I have to ask that person, okay, how does that feel? And then I have to tell myself, okay, this is what he's feeling, let's fix it. One of the things that I came across is the guy's like, yeah, I have no power with my grip, it just kind of falls out of my hand and I have a power grip. And then I realized, okay, he's gripping it like this, and I said, okay, where's your pressure at? And he goes, well, I'm just kind of squeezing these two fingers in, and that's where my pressure is, and these ones are kind of just on the disc. And I'm like, okay, there's your problem. This guy was, I told him, and this is how I found out. I said, okay, do me a favor, take the rest of your fingers off and just throw the disc. And he threw it just as far with just two fingers. So then I realized, okay, your pressure's all wrong. Now, don't listen to this out there and say, okay, pressure's all wrong. I need to switch my thing, because if it's working, don't switch it. But in this particular instance, we were trying to work on getting him some more distance. Some people can throw really far with this grip, with just fanning and then having all the pressure here. It's not my point. My point is I was able to tell him, okay, take these two fingers, make the pressure in the middle, have this one kind of just chill out, bring the pinky in and bring that into this part to where you're squeezing it a little bit, and then just a little bit of a squeeze, and then you'll get a little more power. And he threw about 50 feet further, or 20 feet farther or something. My point is, dig deeper, okay? Because that's what I have to do. If you're out there practicing and you're out there in the field practicing by yourself, dig a little deeper. Go, okay, this is the grip, but where's my pressure? Play with different pressures. Play with different grips. It's the only way you're going to get better. I don't have all the answers. You know, these other great teachers don't, and I'm not saying I'm a great teacher, but these other teachers that I know that I feel are great teachers, they don't have all the answers. It's up to you to really play with it right now, especially because, I mean, let's face it, there's nobody else giving you guys form tips at 8:30 in North Carolina right now. So with that being said, that was my main point of coming on here. I felt impelled to tell, you know, my people on here that come to me for advice, that little story. Dig a little deeper. Okay. Now I'll take a couple questions. I'll take the next question that pops up. How about that? Right quick. When I first started, how far could I throw? It's a really good question. My first ever throw went 85 feet. It went straight up in the air, straight down. I wasn't able to throw farther until I started throwing sidearm. And then I was throwing probably, I'm guessing, like 250 feet, maybe first time through the process of an entire round. I got thrown in on a course in a league, my first ever round I've ever played. So I figured out the sidearm pretty fast, and then I was able to throw pretty far. I was able to throw between 250, probably 230 feet, which is a pretty good amount of distance for your first time ever playing. Backhand came later. I had to learn it, and I just had my own kind of style back then. And I grew up on a couple acres in Arizona with my family, kind of in the country. And we used to have this barn that was 250, 210, somewhere in between there. I can't remember now. Didn't have my Bushnell rangefinder back then to give you guys the exact distance. But if I do go back, maybe I'll pop a little distance for you guys. Anyways, I get going and I just don't stop. I would throw from my yard. The barn faced to where let's say the barn entrance went straight towards the road. So we saw the side of the barn, and I would try to throw around into the barn, and I would practice all day doing that. I would throw it all day, every day. So that's how I learned my backhand. I had a really good hyzer backhand, and then I learned how to flex it and do different shots into there, 210 feet. And then I decided, okay, I want to take it out of the yard. Then I started throwing it farther to where I took it outside the yard. And then I was throwing it over the barn into my neighbor's yard. And then pretty soon I was throwing it over that neighbor's yard into the next neighbor's yard. And it progressed pretty quick. Within like 2 months, I was probably throwing 400 plus feet. What do we got on here, man? Let's get some questions really quick. Are you ready for Vegas? Then Phoenix road trip, Brody. I am not ready right now, but I can say I've never been more ready to be ready for that. I'm working really hard right now. Right now, currently, just to give you a perspective of what I'm having to go through to get ready, I'm on a 3-day fast right now. No food, liquid, like what is it? Green tea. I'm only drinking green tea and coffee and water, of course. For 3 days, I'm trying to get all the toxins and all the bad crap out of my body so that I can go on a nice diet. moving forward, and I'll be ready, hopefully, and stronger by the Memorial. So I've never been more ready to be ready for the Memorial. Thanks for joining. All right, let's get another question in here really fast, please. How hard of a grip are you using on backhand? Not that hard. I mean, a solid grip, but not that hard. People think that you're really ripping into it. If I really did that, then I would yank it every single time. It's a firm grip, but not like a crazy firm grip. Okay, I want to help you guys. So no more questions about how far I can throw or things like that, because that's not important. I'm here for you guys. I need to do. Sorry, their questions are coming in fast, so I kind of gotta touch the screen and slow it down. How do I handle uphill and awkward footing putts? I guess footed putts. I try to park the hole so I don't have the awkward putt. But if I have an uphill putt, I'll try to straddle to like have better balance. Depending on how steep the hill is, I'll try to get into my regular stance no matter what. But sometimes if you're going straight uphill, that back foot doesn't have enough leverage because it's so far down to push and give me my regular stroke. And what tends to happen is then I'll yank it because I don't have my body kind of helping me to my point. And then it's all arm. Kind of not a very good stroke. So I'll try to straddle to better have momentum up that hill and have a bit more stability in my footing. When learning forehand, what discraft disc or stability do you suggest? I always say this. If you cannot throw a putter without wobble, you shouldn't be throwing any other disc until you can do that. And I'm not talking like 400 feet or 300 feet or 200 feet or even 100 feet. If you can throw a putter 50 feet without it wobbling that much, you're on the right track. And then move to a mid-range. If you can do that a bit farther, then move to a driver. And then you can start moving up into your discs. But a lot of people, especially nowadays with how stable the discs are, what happens is all these guys will grab a super stable disc. They'll throw it as hard as they can because they have a sports background or something, or a fast arm speed right away, sidearm. And they use that disc as it's stable. And yeah, it's going to hold the torque that they put on it. But then they lose all touch, and then everything that they can't throw as hard as they can, there's no release point. There's nothing. It's just all power. And then they come to me later, and they have to pay me money to give them lessons because they started throwing a Nuke OS for every shot. So learn to throw the putter first. Let's see here. What was your best tip to promote consistent? Okay, what's your best tip to promote consistency off the tee? I'll tell you what that is. There's two things. One of them is slow down. If you want to be consistent off the tee, slow down. You don't have to throw it as hard as you can every single time to be consistent. Make sure that your body is kind of moving at the same speed, moving forward. If your lower body's going super slow and then your upper body's going super fast, you're going to be a sprinkler system all over the place. If your lower body's going super fast and your upper body's really slow, sprinkler system. It all has to be gradually moving forward at the same pace. That's my advice as far as that goes. Next thing is, everybody has an angle and a release point that I call $1,000 angle and release point. What I mean by that is if I were to take you to a field and put you at probably, let's say, 150 to 250 feet away, and I put a basket right there, or I didn't even put a basket, I just put a circle, and I said, okay, I'll give you $1,000 if you can throw any disc in your bag to that circle. Could you do it? Almost everybody on this chat would be like, I'd probably come pretty close, right? You would definitely have a disc in your bag and an angle to where you would give it your best effort. For $1,000, you're going to be trying your best shot that you have. that means you have a consistent release point. It means you do. That's your most consistent shot. So if my most consistent shot is, let's say, a raptor for me, throwing it at whatever speed to get it to that spot, then I have a consistent place to where I feel confident at that distance. Now I can feather in, think about it like this. Now I can feather in different discs into that slot that will go farther for me personally, maybe you. And I can feather in different discs that will turn over or go straight or do whatever at that release point. That's my $1,000 release point. If I'm going to throw that shot to make $1,000 and put it in a circle, then why not throw all my shots at that same speed and that same angle and just put different discs in there? Now I'm confident with all kinds of different shots. Does that make sense? $1,000 release angle and speed. There you go. Tip of the year. You guys can make $1,000 right here. Do you think it's important to have? Oh, never mind. That wasn't that important. What is my forehand grip style? It is the 2-finger, I guess, stack grip like that, one on top of the other. As I move to a putter, the only thing that changes is this middle finger. Instead of being the side of it up against the rim, it moves just a little bit to where the pad of my finger is almost on that rim. And that allows me to have a little bit more touch. The farther out I go, the more that's turned inward, and it's the side of that instead of the pad of it. So that's my sidearm grip. How do you control nose angle? You can only control nose angle with having a consistent release point. Find a release point. Mine is out here. If you watch some of my down the fairways, I go into a lot of detail with the sidearm and release points, because it's one of the things that I feel like I'm really good at is putter anhysers, putter shots, being really accurate with the sidearm. Is I found a release point. Once you find a release point, what I mean, the last point with a sidearm, you'll feel it come off of your finger, probably your middle finger if you have a grip like mine, and you'll feel it kind of pop off of there. That's your release point. Hone that in. Get that into a small box right here to where you can go boop and throw it through. If you can do that, then you can start playing with your follow through. So hitting the release point, it falls off of your finger, right? That's the first step. Now see what happens. Does it go up to the right? Does it go left? Does it roll over? Now start playing with your follow through after impact, not during. A lot of people are like, okay, I'm going to keep it flat back here, flat through, flat all the way. That's an advanced level technique. Like, your body's not going to be able to do that right away. The best players in the world can do that to try to keep flat because they have a consistent release point. If you try to do that, all of a sudden, however you got there before goes out, and it's not your throw anymore. Now you have to create a new one. So find a release point, figure out how you get there, then play with the follow through afterwards. The throw will then start smoothing out, and now you have better nose and angle control with your release. Tough to kind of do this, honestly, just right here in this, but from the feedback I had from the last video or live that I did, you guys asked for this. You asked for more of this instead of just the down the fairway. So that's what I'm doing. This is your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault, Kevin Carter. It's all your fault, buddy. All right, Micah G. What did he say? What about backhand nose angle? Release point, man. Same thing. Figure out where that comes out, where the last place it comes out. And an easy way to do this indicator is, I just told this to my buddy today. When I go to a field, one of the first things I do with all of my shots is I literally toss a disc 50 feet in front of me. Okay. and I use that as a marker. I toss a disc 50 feet in front of me, and then I try to throw all my shots over that disc. And if I'm off a little bit, right and left, then my release point's off that day, and I have to work on getting my release point consistent. I don't care if the disc goes straight up. If it's going over that disc in front of you, you have a good release point. I don't care if it goes straight down. The thing you don't want is it for go right to left of that thing different every single time. If you don't have control over the disc 50 feet in front of you to where your miss should be this big. Now, you got to think, a miss this big out 400 feet away, if you have that type of distance, is a big miss. It's a really big miss. So when I do that, I can really tell if it's 50 feet out in front of me. I'm rarely ever missing that disc. My disc is always flying right around that disc or right over it. I have a consistent release, though. Find a consistent release, then same thing. Then start playing with your follow-throughs and having different angles go over that disc 50 feet in front of you with no interest of where it's landing. Don't care where it's going. Once you have a release that goes consistently 50 feet in front of you, straight, then you can start to notice what happens after. Because now you're in control of 50 feet in front of you, right? Now you can start pushing the disc farther and seeing what happens. Then you can start shaping shots to where it's 50 feet out in front of you, and now your disc is turning left or turning right or a roller or whatever. But first get in control right in front of you what you can see, because that's your release point, and that's what's, in my opinion, that's what's most important. Is there's so many people out there with horrible form and bad timing, but they figured out a way to have a good release point, and they hit gaps and they score. This is a scoring game. It's not a game of perfection. It's not a game of having the best form. It's a game of release point A to point B, tap it in, get a birdie. All right. What a great surprise. Thanks, man. I appreciate that, Andy. Caught you live. Amazing. Yeah. Well, give me a question, my friend. Okay. What do you feel about Simon's tilt? Is that the new stable disc? The thing's crazy. That's what I think about it. Stable. Anheuser tip. Same thing, man. Everything that I give you here live, since I can't work with you, is going to be very logical and very release point oriented. Because no matter what, I can't see you throw your shots. I can't fix your form live on here. That's one of the things that I have to remember, because if I go into crazy details of timing with this and make sure that your arm's coming down and then your excep's going and you're following through with your left side and your right side, you're gonna go down a crazy rabbit hole, and I'm not there to fix it. So everything that I do live here will be logical, to the point, with release point. Figure that out first. If you do that, your body's probably doing something right. So Anheuser release, throw the disc 50 feet in front of you, find a release point, and if you're throwing Anheisers over that disc and you're accurate, then you don't need my help. Let's see here. Favorite disc golf course in the United States? I told you I don't want this to be about me, but I'll tell you. Smuggler's Notch. Love playing there. Best facility, I think, in the United States. Fox Run is amazing. What is the preferred mustache length for distance shot? Cody Martin, we got a funny guy here. I am throwing as far as I ever have in my life, probably. So this is pretty good. Good question. Good question. Do I split finger on closer approach shots with my forehand? No, I do not. Same grip. The only difference is I tilt the pad onto the disc. How long have I been on here? 25 minutes. You guys got 5 more minutes. 5 more. Okay, what is going on with your partnership with Ledgestone? What's going on? I'll tell you what's going on. We just dropped some sick beanies last night, and there's only about 30 left. So if you want to go out, Ledgestone, so it's shop.lisopen.com. Go to the Yuli part. It would be just my last, three letters of my last name. Whew, got it out there. ULI. You click on that, you scroll down, there's some merch, there's some sweatshirts left, there's hats left, and now there's beanies. And be on the lookout for some more stuff dropping as well. My editor, this is another thing I wanted to tell you guys. My editor just got COVID. So, with that being said, my content might be on delay as far as my rounds go because he's stuck at home, and he usually drives to town where he's from, which I won't tell you. He'll drive to town from where he's from to upload videos because we're working on getting them better internet connections. So might be a little delay as far as the round on Saturday. I'm hoping we can pump that out for you guys. I just filmed a cool little thing today, actually, to post on there, but my editor, he poor guy got COVID, so prayers to him. I just ordered some Raptors. Guardian 14. I appreciate that. I really do. You guys have no idea how far that goes to helping us. Every disc with our name on it that you buy directly helps us, and it makes us able to do what we love. And, you know, it helps me be able to be even on here right now. How do you start practicing rollers? I think this is like the 3rd time I saw this question from maybe the same guy. I'll get to it. So, this is how you do it. If you want to practice a sidearm roller, you go like this. Roller. Same with the backhand. And I know you might think that's silly, but same thing. Grab your wrist. Go like this. Open it up and watch the disc roll. Start at short distances. As you move forward, you'll understand that you have to do different movements to do the roller. After you once you do it at shorter distances, both sidearm and backhand, you'll slowly start to learn that they will roll differently the farther and the harder you try to throw them. That's how you learn a roller. Everybody comes to me like, I want to learn a roller. No, you want to learn how to throw farther. I know what you're thinking. I'm not going to do that. Learn how to throw at short distances and then work your way up to the farther distances. Once you have learned to do it from short to farther out, you'll understand how to get it to go farther, because pretty soon they won't be going that far and you'll have to play with different angles. There's so many different rollers. I throw Spike Heiser crazy rollers with my get out of jail free card, and I throw over the top rollers like this. I throw sky rollers up into the air. It's all about playing with it. I also throw stable cut rollers with stable discs. There's all kinds of different things. So right here. Little shorties first, bud. Okay. Tips for distance. Timing. Timing is everything with distance. Sure, you can be blessed with the longest arms in the world. I was not. I make up for it with timing. I make up for it with footwork, with like I said, I can go down this little rabbit hole with distance. Timing. Work on being fluid. Don't work on throwing it as hard as you can. Work on being fluid with your shots, and as soon as you can do that, you'll naturally start getting better timing and start throwing it farther. I would have to see you throw in order to fix distance and how to get it to go farther. Sometimes it's as easy as your left leg. Sometimes it's as easy as timing being on your right leg and I switch that to your left leg. Sometimes it's easy as you're just not throwing it very hard. There's all kinds of different things. For the most part, fluidity is key. When Simon throws it, he is so fluid. It doesn't look like he's doing much. Now, when he's trying to break distance records, yeah, he's throwing it as hard as you can. I'm guessing that's not what you want to do. If you want to go like to distance contests, then yeah, go throw it as hard as you can a bunch in the field, and then that's what'll happen. But these guys do it on the course. The farthest throwers on the planet can do it on the course because they're fluid. They're under control. Oh, dude, how do I get my wife to like disc golf? That's a great question, man. I would say one of the key things in that is find one of her friends that maybe is open to playing with you guys in a group. I feel like a lot of times it's tougher to just do like a one-on-one thing like that to get them to go there because it's kind of your thing. But if you say, yeah, bring a friend, we can do this, bring maybe another couple with you, I think it'll be a little bit more fun, especially if they're acquaintances, to get out there on a disc golf course. It's pretty intimidating to anybody for that matter to just take them to the course. But if you have like a friend setting, it's easier for the whole spectrum of people to go out there with you and try something new. So that would be one of my tips for getting your wife to like disc golf. Okay, you guys are going down this. Wow, you guys can't even be adults for 1 second. Don't be a Doug. Wow. What's better? Okay, let's see. I do offer personal lessons here in the Charlotte area. I'm pretty much booked up for a couple weeks. But if you message me on Messenger or maybe my Instagram, if I do see it, I'm sometimes able to fill in those gaps during the week because a lot of times people will cancel during the week. How much is a video lesson? I don't really like doing video lessons right now. I might start doing them when I need a lot of time to be able to go over video lessons. I like to see how your body's moving in person. That's really tough to do over a camera if I don't have multiple camera angles of the same exact shot. And so it's tough. It's a tough thing. It takes a lot longer for me to do that. And so I don't have a lot of time. I've already gone over my time with you guys. See how much I like you guys? I love you guys, actually. You guys are awesome. I'm able to just come on here, chat it up with y'all. I appreciate everything you guys do for me. Honestly, the comments on here, every other comment is, "You're awesome, Yuli." You know how good that makes me feel that my time here is appreciated. I'm so thankful for you guys. We're at, like I said the last time, we're at 30,000 subscribers. Like I want to double that this year. Like you guys are awesome. With that being said, last question, and then I gotta get off and I gotta do a few things. I actually have to start editing. So, how does it feel being sexier than Nate Sexton? Feels pretty good. It feels really pretty good. He's pretty sexy though. So I don't think there's any outdoing him. I think we have our own things going. So no slight to him. Let's see here. Last question. Yeah, honestly, nicest guy ever. Yes, he is the nicest guy ever of all time. It's crazy. Let's see here. Thank you, for the compliments. I'm just reading these and I can't get. There's a lot of compliments. There's a lot of cry eyes, laughter. I'm glad you guys think I'm funny. I guess that's gonna be it. I guess that's gonna be it for tonight. I don't even see any questions coming on here. You guys are bomb. You guys are baller. I appreciate you. In the next couple days, I'll get back on here again once I have something that comes in my head that I want to share with you before I just run into these tips, because I really wanted to get that by you guys with the grip and how, because I come on here and I'm always having these one-sided questions about like, oh, my arm's doing this, my leg's doing this, my fingers are doing this. Like it's so difficult to get better at, well, it's difficult to get better at disc golf because there's so many tiny things, and if we focus on being fluid and not outthinking the room, sometimes it's easier than to really dive into teeny tiny things. So if that makes sense. I need to get off here. Oh my goodness. Love y'all.